So what this option does is because it has a K1 of 80 cents and it has a K2 of $1. What's the payment on this option? And the price was, let's recall, negative almost 9 cents. So what it does is it pays 0.8 minus X if X is less than $1. It pays to the holder of the option. So let's graph what that says. Here's $1. Here's the current value of the option. Here's 0.8. And it pays a put option would look just like that, a vanilla put that would pay 0.8 minus X if X is less than 0.8. But here's a situation where it also, the holder has to make these payments. So we can see that here's the value of the exchange rate today, that if the exchange rate moves positively or negatively 10 cents or less, this is an option that's going to cost the holder money. And the holder will only get paid if the exchange rate drops more than 10 cents. So this really looks way out of the money from the perspective of the long positions, much more likely, especially with a sigma of 0.10, a 10% volatility, and we have an initial price of 90 cents. So as an approximation, a standard deviation over a half year is 10% of 90, which is 9 cents, divided by square root of 2. Right, because it's a half-year option. We have a square root of time. So the volatility of this half-year option, the volatility of exchange rate prices is 10% of the 90, which is 9 cents, and then divided by square root of 2 to reflect the half year. Square root of 2 is about 1.4. This is around 6 cents. So the stock price has to move, or sorry, the exchange rate has to move by, 1.5 sigma before this holder will get a payoff. So it would seem quite logical that the negative payoffs in this exchange rate area will dominate the positive payoffs here simply by virtue of this sigma value, and that it's logical that this actually has a negative value, and consequently the holder of the option should be paid to accept this risk. Another option we'll consider are exchange options. We've actually seen this in an earlier module where we looked at the generalized put-call parity. And here, this could be a put or a call, but it's an exchange of two potentially risky assets. A vanilla call would be that we have the right to buy the stock for a fixed K dollars. So in a sense, we can think of a vanilla call as an exchange option between a stock and a T-bill, a maturing T-bill. But here, a T-period call on S with a strike of K. Imagine S and K are two risky assets, so one might imagine an exchange option using 1 share of IBM stock and 2 shares of Microsoft stock, for example. And so they're both risky. They both have a value at time t. And when will this be exercised? It's going to be exercised when the ST is bigger than KT. So when the holder exercises an exchange option, they will receive ST, whatever that is, for 1 unit of KT.